What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Heaven Hollywood Clark, and welcome back to the Sports Fanatic. This is a Sports Fanatic breaking news report. Adrian Griffin, head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks, who are currently 30-13, second in the East, first in offense, second in points per game, fifth in three-point percentage, fifth in 3 points made, third in field goal percentage, has fired Adrian Griffin. They have fired Adrian Griffin. Now, Woj put this report. We're gonna hear what Woj has to say right now. This is Woj reporting on ESPN about the firing.
This was an agonizing decision for this Milwaukee organization. They were very fond of Adrian Griffin. They gave him his first head coaching opportunity this offseason. But they looked at where this team was, how it was responding under Griffin. Although the second best record right now, you mentioned 30-13, that they have such a tight championship window with Giannis Antetokounmpo, certainly the Damian Lillard trade, which happened after they hired Griffin as head coach. And they made a decision to make the change. They told Adrian Griffin of that just within the last hour. I'm told that he's out, and this is a Milwaukee team that you have seen at every turn trying to maximize, again, this championship window, and they make a really difficult decision today to move on from Adrian Griffin. And I'm told now, Joe Prunty is expected to be the interim coach. You've seen him as an interim coach previously in Milwaukee after Jason Kidd. In Atlanta also, but they're going to start a search immediately for a new head coach. They want an accomplished veteran head coach who's available. And I'm told that Doc Rivers is among the very serious candidates that Milwaukee is going to look at here as they move forward.
Wow. So you heard Woj there, Adrian Wojnarowski at ESPN. The Milwaukee Bucks, they gave Adrian Griffin his first head coaching job, and he has been fired after a 30-13 start. And me, myself, I know they're 30-13, but I was saying to myself, the Bucks, the defense doesn't look the same. They don't, even though they are top scoring team, right? When you got Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo, you guys should be number one. You should have lost 13 games at this point. And their defense is what? Middle of the pack to bottom. It's like, what they around 17th, 18th deep. So usually they're a top 5 defense. Usually they're a top 5 defense. They've had 2 defensive player of the year candidates over the last 5 years with Lopez and Giannis. Giannis every year is a candidate. So, their defense should be a little better. And, again, if they want, they were saying that Coach Bud, they fired him because they need adjustments in the playoffs. Well, you need adjustments in the playoffs, and you're thinking about hiring Doc Rivers? How many times has Doc Rivers had the best team in the NBA, and he didn't get? And he won what with the Clippers? Nothing. He never even went to the finals. How many years did he have? Lob City. He had Griffin in his prime, Chris Paul in his prime, DeAndre Jordan in his prime. He had Jamal Crawford. He had all these guys, right? Eric Bledsoe. He had a fully stacked team. And then did Doc Rivers also had Kawhi Leonard, for the first year? Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, I believe he had them for the first year. I mean, Doc Rivers, he won 1 title with the Big Three. 1. And he didn't win any more titles other than that. So you're going to bring in a coach, you want an accomplished coach a coach that's accomplished, a veteran, you fired him. Coach Bud. You remember the guy who took you to the championship and won your only ring? You fired him after last year's first round exit. But if Giannis Antetokounmpo can hit 2 free throws, they win that game against Miami, and God knows what happens after that. It had nothing to do with Budenholzer, why they lost last year. Their star player couldn't hit free throws. But now you have Coach Bud with Damian Lillard. Now, I agree. I never liked Coach Bud's adjustments in the playoffs as far as defense goes. Like, he wouldn't put Giannis on the best player. You know, he would just say, the matchups. It's kind of like how in a football coach where they say, you're just going to play this side. No matter where the best wide receiver lines up, you're going to stay on this side. And you're not going to line up against the best wide receiver unless he lines up on your side. He never put Giannis on the best player on the other team and said, stop him. Right? He was like, if it rotates to me, I guard him. I never liked his adjustments with that. But you're going to bring in Doc Rivers, someone who is known as an underachiever when you consider all the good teams he's had. Look back at all the great teams Doc Rivers has had. He's got 1 championship to show for it. So, yes, he's an upgrade over Adrian Griffin, but Coach Bud has 1 title in far less time. And remember what Coach Bud did with them Atlanta Hawks teams. I was hoping the Lakers would have hired Coach Bud. That's who I wanted the Lakers to hire. So just think about this, Laker fans. The Milwaukee Bucks are 30-13, and they fired Adrian Griffin. Yet Darvin Ham is 500, and Jeannie Buss is making him untouchable and saying he's safe. Let that sink in. We're going to see who the Milwaukee Bucks hire. I was hoping Mark Jackson would get a shot, but then again, he's blackballed. So, they're not going to hire Mark Jackson. Doc Rivers, hey, man, you might as well hire Jeff Van Gundy. If you're going to hire Doc Rivers. But Stan Van Gundy. We'll see what happens, man. But very interesting. The Milwaukee Bucks at 30-13. And the number 1 offense in the NBA. Fire their head coach. We'll keep you updated. It's Hem in Hollywood. There's been another installment of The Sports Fanatic.